Welcome to Brava Women Wise Women Wednesday. Really excited today. We've got Kathy Ashton from Flourish, Live Naturally, and we're going to talk about what is a blue zone. What can we learn and use from the blue zone? It is a trending word at the moment, and Kathy will share simple strategies of how to implement blue zone principles in our lives. Kathy Ashton is a degree qualified registered medicinal nutritionist. It's her extensive knowledge, practical experience, and immense passion for helping others that makes Kathy one of Melbourne's most sought after nutritionists. It was a significant family health issue, her own journey with fibromyalgia, and her husband being diagnosed with MS that initially prompted her journey into the deep dive into the world of nutritional study and research. Kathy has made her own range of whole food supplements, which thousands of people are now using. She has also designed healing programs and works heavily in the area of disability, helping those on the NDIS use food as medicine or alongside medicine to live a full and productive life. She's very passionate about healthy aging and believes in the magic of food, community, and exercise. Over to you, Kathy.
Thank you so much, dear, and welcome everybody. I'm going to do a quick 10-minute deep dive into the blue zones. So if I don't get through it all today, please, and you want to learn a bit more, hit me up to have a bit of a chat, and I'd love to talk to you to more about it. So we're going to do Unveiling the Secrets of Longevity and Wellbeing by me. So what is a blue zone? The concept of the blue zones came from researchers Giovanni Pez and Michael Poulin, who drew concentric, they were actually looking at longevity, and they drew concentric blue circles on a map highlighting the villages in Sardinia, which is in Italy, where they could see extreme longevity. It wasn't until Dan Bruckner came along, he's a National Geographic journalist and explorer, coined the term blue zone simply by these little blue dots. So it's pretty amazing, isn't it, where these things come from. The first study that Dan decided to look at for longevity was a study in Okinawa. So let's see where the blue zones are actually coming from. Okinawa, Japan is kind of what we all know as the as probably the one that we know the most about. However, the first place was identified was the Sardinia in Italy. However, let's look at the power of Okinawa. So what makes Okinawa a blue zone is more, if you wanted to choose one thing, is the moai, which is a social group, a support group, and it starts in childhood. And it's a a lifelong circle of friends that all get together. The Okinawans also says it's their strong sense of purpose, their ikigara, which is why do you get out of bed in the morning? And this is one thing that they put down their longevity to, as well as a plant-based diet. You know, they only eat 2% of their diet is meat. They also believe in the 80% rule, the hara hachi bu, which is stop eating when your tummy is 80%. Sardinia. So what are the secrets of the Sardinians? Well, they hunt, fish, and harvest for their own foods. They remain close friends with their family and their friends. They have lots of laughter and they drink wine, and they walk about 5 miles a day. They, again, only eat meat on a Sunday, which is always fascinating as a nutritionist to see what the diet is. They eat grass-fed dairy from sheep. None of the blue zones do cow dairy, none of them, so which is really interesting. The Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, this is where some of the lowest rates of heart disease, cancer, and dementia in the world. But they, like the Okinawans, have a plan de vida, which is a reason to live, a reason to get out of bed again in the morning. They focus on family, listen and laugh. They drink water, and they eat a very light dinner, and only 5% of their diet comes from meat and fish. Now, excuse all my Greek friends, the Ikaria, where they're free of dementia and chronic diseases. And these people here have the lowest rate of age-related disease. And basically the way they look at it is this is where people forget to die. Dan, in his Netflix Live to 100 series talks about a man who was born in as an Icarian, but he went to America to live. And at the age of 60 odd, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he was only given 3 months to live. So he went back to Icaria and he began living his original lifestyle. And basically when Dan met him, he was over 100. So he says he just forgot to die once he got there. And this is how the Icarians are actually known. Plant-based, again, with only 6% fish and 5% meat. So Loma Linda in America, the Loma Linda America talks very much about, this is where the home of the Seventh-day Adventists, it's in Southern California. They put their secret down to finding a sanctuary of time in a week to actually rest. So by resting, they are decreasing their stress, they're strengthening their social networks. They believe in constantly exercising, so naturally exercising. And one of the big things that the Loma Linda, the Seventh-day Adventists believe in is volunteering. So the more you volunteer, the longer you're going to live. Meat in moderation, if not at all, because this is where the Seventh-day Adventists are known for their vegetarian diet and also their vegan diet. So the common characteristics of blue zones, as you can see, 95% of their diets are plant-based. One of the fun things that you do if you actually watch the Blue Zone on Netflix is they say, get to know a vegan, because they'll teach you how to become plant-based. So if you want a vegan nutritionist, come see me. It's a diet that's rich in antioxidants and fiber, and we know that these things are going to be fantastic for the body. So what we want to do is keep your calorie intake low. And again, there's that Okinawan Hara Hachi Bu, where you're only eating to become 80% full. So also we want an active lifestyle, so daily physical activity, not going to the gym just once. You want to move naturally. Don't just sit here in front of your computer, or if you've sat in front of your computer, get out and run up and down a few flights of stairs, or get out in the garden for a bit. A strong social network. I kind of think we do that here with Bayside Women and Brava Women. We actually are creating that beautiful social network where we can all help each other. I like to think of this as my Moai. A sense of purpose. This is the old question, right? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? That is so important to why we do what we do. Actually helps us to live longer. Reducing stress. We need to pray, and we need to find time to actually stop. Limited meat. In all of the blue zones, they talk about meat only three to 5 times a month. That's it. It's only 100 grams. So it's really only using meat as a condiment. Limit your alcohol, but you're allowed to drink alcohol. I really like this. This is a good thing. So you want to be plant forward or plant strong. And in all 5 zones, they talk about eating a large breakfast like a king, the smaller lunch like a prince, and then, of course, eat for dinner. So the Blue Zones diet, again, we want to look at 90% plant-based, retreat from meat, so keep that low, keep your fish low. Make sure that you're not drinking, if you're going to do dairy, it's goat and sheep. Cut down on your eggs. Beans are amazing. So 1 cup of beans can give you 4 extra years of your life. How cool is that? That's as a minimum. A snack on nuts. Make sure your bread is sourdough. Go whole. So go whole means looking at whole foods, and drink mostly water. So these are the 4 things that you want to always do, and the 4 things that you want to avoid. So always we're doing whole grains, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, pulses, fruits. 10 servings per fruit and veg. How many of us do that? And avoid, you can see the things that we need to avoid. And I'm pretty sure that that's fairly obvious. So these are the principles of it. Create lifelong circle of friends. I like to think, as I said before, that we're doing that with Brava. And find a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I'd like us to answer a question after I finish speaking, and if you're watching this in YouTube land, what causes you to get out of bed in the morning? What's your purpose? So this is really an important question. And how then do you rest? When do you rest? When do you stop? How often do you laugh? As adults, we don't tend to laugh a lot, and this will actually reduce our life if we're not laughing. Walking hourly, daily, minutes, do natural exercise, get out in the garden and pull weeds, do whatever it is that you need to do. Listen to your friends and your family. Sometimes we don't listen to all our family, do we? But we can choose our friends, so choose the right friends and listen to them. Drink water. Eat a light dinner. Make sure that that's the smallest of your meals. Eat mainly plants and get to know a vegan. This is a good thing. Minimal amount of fish and a minimal amount of meat. And dairy, if you have to go down the dairy road, we want you to have it as sheep or goat. And why is this the case? Most of this is the case simply because if you're eating plants, they're anti-inflammatory. They're going to feed a great gut microbiome. So these are the big reasons why we believe that you're healthier. Do you know it's only 20% of your genes that actually matter? It's 80% lifestyle that will give you longevity and lead you to live a really active life up until your 90s and into your 100s, if that's on the card. But it'll actually allow you to live, right? Last thing I want to do is get there and not remember who I am and not remember my children. So by eating a plant-strong, plant-forward, plant-based diet, you're going to keep your inflammation out of your brain as well. So hopefully put dementia on the back foot as well. So that's, is that my time up, dear? I think it might be.
Yes, that's it, Kathy.
So this is Kathy Ashton from, actually I work at Health 104 in Canterbury Road, Middle Park. So if anybody would like to see me, I'd love to meet you there. So thanks very much for having me.
Thank you, Kathy. And I'll put Kathy's links and everything below on the YouTube